Fans have always loved Rick Ness, the beloved star of Gold Rush, for his toughness, determination, and positive attitude. But behind his rugged persona lies a heartbreaking story of personal struggle and loss that has had a profound effect on his life and career. What happened to Rick Ness that has left fans heartbroken? Born in 1981 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Rick Ness grew up in a hardworking family that valued outdoor activities and the satisfaction of a job. Even though he liked his job, he was looking for something more that would combine his love of the outdoors with his need for adventure. That's when the world of gold mining caught his attention. Rick was excited about the chance to strike gold, both literally and in terms of finding a job he loved. He didn't know much about gold mining at the time, but he was drawn to the challenge and excitement it offered. Alaska's rich mining history and untamed wilderness seemed like the perfect place to start. To start this new part of his life, he threw himself into learning how to mine gold, showing himself and everyone else that hard work and determination could pay off in even the strangest jobs. Rick Ness's rise to fame began by accident when he was cast in the popular reality TV show Gold Rush. The show, which follows the lives of gold miners in the harsh and often unforgiving Alaskan wilderness, brought the harsh realities of mining into people's homes before Gold Rush. He was much quieter and had worked in construction and as a musician, but his passion was always in the outdoors, especially gold mining. When Rick first came on the show, viewers noticed that he wasn't like any other miner. He had a personality that stood out, and his down-to-earth personality made it easy for fans to relate to him. Unlike some of the other larger-than-life characters on the show, Rick seemed real, like someone viewers could imagine having a conversation with. Having a beer with or talking to someone after a hard day's work helped him connect with audiences, and soon he became a fan favorite. Rick Ness has had a rough few years personally and professionally, which tested his strength and resilience. In March 2018, his mother Judy Ness died of brain cancer at the age of 55, leaving a huge hole in his life. Judy had always been a source of love and support for Rick, and she was very proud of his hard work and success. As a gold miner, she loved introducing him to new people and celebrating his successes. Her death was not only a terrible loss, but it also caused a big change in Rick's emotional life. In the months and years after her death, Rick was dealing with overwhelming grief. Losing his mother made it hard for him to find his footing, and he fell into a deep depression. The stress of life and his sadness made him feel weak, even though he had a reputation for being tough and determined on gold. Rush Rick was now fighting an inner battle that not many could see. To deal with his grief and stress, Rick turned to drugs. At the time, it may have seemed like a way to dull the pain, but it only made things worse. His drug use became another problem he had to solve, as it affected not only his emotional health but also his ability to focus on his work. In 2022, Rick Ness made the brave choice to step out of the spotlight and take a break from Gold Rush. It wasn't an easy decision. Rick had to make the choice to take time to focus on his mental health and deal with the personal problems that had been weighing him down. After dealing with grief, depression, and other problems, he knew it was time to take charge of his life and find a way to heal. For a year, Rick worked on himself, taking small but important steps toward recovery. He realized that facing his problems head-on was the only way to move forward, and part of this journey included making hard choices like selling the house his mother had lived in. Getting rid of the house was a big step toward letting go of the past and focusing on the future. It was hard, but Rick knew it was what he needed to do for his own growth and healing. After a year off, Rick came back to Gold Rush in season 14, ready to rebuild his life and career. This time, he came back with renewed energy and a clear sense of purpose. He was determined to prove himself and show that setbacks can be overcome with hard work and determination. It wasn't just about mining gold, it was about reclaiming his passion and redefining his future. In season 14, Rick had to deal with a lot of problems as he worked hard to rebuild his mining operation with little time and money. He set a high mining target that he knew he had to meet in order to pay the landowner and secure his claim. It was a high-stakes race against the clock, but Rick gave it his all and beat all the odds to reach his goal, hitting his mining target and proving to himself and his success wasn't just measured in gold, it showed his determination, resilience, and ability to get back on his feet after life's hardest times. When Rick Ness decided to go back to Gold Rush, it wasn't just to mine gold, it was to show himself and others that he could start over with a clean slate. When he thought back on his comeback, Rick was honest about the problems he faced, especially the financial stress that came with starting over with few resources. He used equipment and whatever Ford could find to get his mining operation going. It wasn't a perfect or glamorous setup, but it was enough to fuel his determination to succeed. To make his comeback stronger, Rick knew he needed a reliable partner by his side, so he turned to one of his best friends, truck driver Brian Z. Zira, in whom he had a lot of trust. Adding Z to the operation wasn't just a business move, it shows that trust and friendship are important for success, especially when facing big problems. Many people didn't think Rick would come back from the problems he had been through in Yukon, but Rick wasn't just looking for gold, he was looking for redemption. Every day on the claim was a chance to silence the doubters and show them they were wrong. One person who never doubted Rick's strength was Parker Schnibel, Rick's former boss and mentor. Rick worked for Parker for 6 years before deciding to go out on his own after season 8. Parker knew Rick's work ethic better than most and defended his. Parker Schnabel, a longtime friend of the doubters, reassured everyone that Rick was a survivor and that they shouldn't be surprised to see him back. These words of support meant a lot to Rick because they reminded him that even when things were hard, there were people who believed in him. With the help of people like Z and Parker, Rick not only rebuilt his operation, but he also rebuilt his confidence. In 2024, Rick Ness faced another heartbreaking tragedy when his mother Judy died. Rick had taken her. Rick's beloved dog Ruby was more than just a pet to him, she was a living link to his late mother. Ruby was always by his side, comforting him and being a friend as he went through the ups and downs of life. She even went on his gold mining adventures with him, becoming a symbol of love, loyalty, and the strong bond he had with his mother. As the premiere of Gold Rush Season 15 approached, Rick broke the sad news to his fans on Instagram. He and his ex-fiancée Elise Murray revealed that Ruby had died. In the post, Rick talked about his deep pain and how thankful he was for the years they had spent together. Ruby had lived an amazing life full of love and care, but in the months before she died, she was diagnosed with kidney disease. Despite this, Ruby's spirit stayed strong. She was 19 years old, but her playful and spunky personality never changed. Rick admired her strength and was relieved that she never seemed to be in pain. She was a fighter just like him. In October, Ruby started to move less quickly and Rick knew something was wrong. It was a hard moment when he had to face the fact that Ruby might not have much time left. He wanted to make sure she was as comfortable as possible, so he and Lise took her to the vet to find out what was wrong. Rick said that saying goodbye to Ruby was one of the hardest things he had ever had to do. She had been a constant source of comfort, a reminder of his mother's love, and a source of peace for him. Ruby was Rick Ness's loyal friend through some of his darkest days. Letting her go was like losing a piece of his mother all over again. But Rick's problems didn't end there. Soon after losing Ruby, he was the subject of rumors about where he would show up on Season 15 of Gold Rush, which started in November 2024. Fans couldn't wait to see the high-stakes adventures of Parker Schnabel, Tony Beets, and Rick Ness, along with the thrill of new gold mining drama. His concerns were raised about Rick's noticeable physical changes. Fans who had followed Rick's journey over the years couldn't help but notice that something seemed off. His face, especially around his nose, showed changes that led to a lot of speculation online. One Reddit user summed up the feeling by saying that they didn't want to be negative, but Rick's appearance seemed to have gotten worse since last year, even though they were fans and wished him well. Many fans were worried about Rick's health, but they also cared about him as a person they've admired for years. Another fan commented on the dramatic change, saying how different Rick looked from previous seasons. Many people were looking at his nose, with one saying it looked very different and suggesting he might look sick. The speculation grew when another fan said the changes looked like a substance collapse septum, which led to more discussions and theories about what was going on. Despite the rumors, the comments often showed a lot of love for Rick. Fans weren't just being critical, they were worried. Over the years, Rick has become more than just a gold miner to his audience. He's become a relatable figure who has been honest about his struggles, and fans have grown to care about him as a person, not just as a reality TV star. Social media and fan forums quickly filled with theories as viewers expressed their worry about Rick's health and well-being. His transformation became a big topic of conversation as fans argued about what might have caused the changes. According to reports from several sources, including TV Insider, there have been persistent rumors that Rick may have been hurt while filming. Some reports say that he broke facial bones and lost teeth during his time on the show. These rumors made fans even more worried, wondering if these injuries were what caused the changes they could see in his face. People who abuse drugs can damage facial tissues, blood vessels, and even cause conditions like a collapsed septum, which may explain some of the changes that can be seen around his nose. While fans continue to guess, Rick has stayed quiet about the situation. He has not publicly addressed the rumors about his health or the changes to his appearance. His silence has only made the conversations more heated, leaving fans to wonder what's really going on. For Rick, the attention on his looks is just another challenge. To Duncan Creek, and now everything was on the line. The delay in getting the water license could also hurt his finances, especially since he had put a lot of gold into buying the claim. If he couldn't mine, he couldn't make money, and without the gold, his dreams of owning land might fall through. For Rick, this water license problem is more than just a professional setback. It feels like another blow after everything he's already been through. He's worked so hard. It took a long time to get here, and now he might not be able to follow through with his mining plans. The journey is far from over, but one thing is for sure: Rick Ness is not giving up. Despite the uncertainty, he's determined to keep going and find a way to make his plans come true. His ambition and relentless drive make him one of the most interesting characters in Gold Rush world, and fans can't help but root for him as he works hard to make his dreams come true. As Season 15 airs, viewers hope to see Rick not only succeeds in his mine work, but he also gets healthy and happy in his personal life. Many people find Rick's struggles to be inspiring because they show that he keeps digging deep both in the ground and inside himself to keep going even when things are hard.